The Athens Olympics was the first Summer Olympics I ever watched, a beautiful homecoming to the birthplace of the ancient games. But the Rio Olympics was for me the most impressive, having Gurika Singh, the youngest athlete of only 13 years, and Ko Uchimura, the Superman of Japan who attempted to be the Olympic all-rounder champion. Now, the Olympic Games are good for economic growth and tourism, but after a couple of years, these once magnificent venues lose all their dreams and magic and start to fall apart, often costing host countries millions in renovations. But what if we use these venues for fulfilling other dreams? Dreams of those who have been forced to flee their own countries due to persecution, conflict and violence. It's no secret that the Olympics follows a distressing pattern of debt, tax inflation and recession that brews unrest amongst the locals. And it is known that the refugee crisis is getting out of hand, with scarce economic resources for food and shelter amongst other basic necessities. So to summarize, on one hand, we have the refugee settlement crisis, and on the other, the abandonment of Olympic stadiums. What I propose is a single solution which could most probably solve these two global issues. An esoteric fact is that there are 70.8 million people displaced worldwide, of which only 2.6 million of them live in camps. This leaves a massive 68.2 million people living in highly toxic environments and informal dwellings. Apart from this, the Olympic Village in Rio de Janeiro has 3,300 vacant apartments that could house 15,000 refugees alone. These solid and insulated structures would provide better shelter from snow, flooding and even sub-zero temperatures than compared to the current refugee camps. Furthermore, if we compare the 1 million square meters Olympic golf course to that of a single refugee tent, which is approximately 4.5 square meters, then hypothetically, we could house an additional 200,000 refugees. Apart from all these, there are several abandoned Olympic arenas with multiple rooms for different services and facilities, including bathrooms, cafeterias, polyclinics to administer aid and relief, and even recreational spaces, which could be refurbished into classrooms. This would provide an opportunity for the refugees to take up their own occupations and potentially create a self-sustaining community, like the Zaatari camp in Jordan, whilst establishing a sense of belonging by removing any thought of isolation and hopelessness. And I know there is a persistent misconception that most of us have, which is refugees cause an economic drain. But we fail to see their potential to contribute to the local and even national economy, like the Dadaab camp, which turns over $25 million annually through refugee-run businesses. I know these numbers seem to be fairly small, but throughout 2019, we've seen the need for mental well-being and support. And that's why I see this form of psychological relief as a greater success in this issue. Hence, my title, Estadio de Hope, the Stadium of Hope.